Let me tell you why I don't believe in that phrase, life-work balance. I used to do that, try to balance life between my work. And what I found was that there's something else going on. Because I was working hard, and the life that the society was giving me was this circular trap where I would work a job I wasn't really enjoying to the maximum extent. Although the job I had was much better than the average person, I still wasn't enjoying it to the maximum extent. And then when I would get off that job, the only thing that the society would give you was freedoms in the areas that never count. So I was free on my spare time, and I had more spare time than the average, and I also had a job where I had more spare money than the average person as well. But that didn't matter, because the only thing I was given in return was freedom in the areas that never count. I could get a different or more expensive tattoo. I could drink more expensive drinks down at the pub. I could watch 3 movies at the Cineplex instead of 1. I could go on a longer vacation, slightly longer, where I would just sort of change locations of where I was eating junk food and getting drunk. See, that's not really a vacation. It's not really recharging yourself when you just change locations as to where you're using your mouth as a garbage compactor and your face as a battering ram, and then you're paying thousands of dollars to get drunk and eat badly at some different geographical location that happens to be more sunny than the slave camp where you call home. So I had all the freedoms in the areas that didn't count. I could go to the mall and decorate my empty life. I could watch the TV. I could, renovate my kitchen a third time to try and distract me or sedate me from this trap. And that's why I don't really believe in the work-life balance. Unless you're actually working at a passion, not even a passion, just working something that feeds your soul. And there's something inside everybody. It's this magical thing. It's an invisible thing. Everybody knows it's there, but not everybody can really describe exactly what it is. But it's this need to create, a need to contribute, a need to be honored for your contribution, but in a real way, in a moral way, in an ethical way. You want the world to do better. And that's a lot different than just going around, dropping off resumes, and asking people to boss you around in exchange for rent and utility and vacation credits. There's a big difference, because that's what our society is that's what the trade-off was looking like to me. The work-life balance was working a job, this is in my initial years, working a job for the highest paycheck I could find. I just go around like everybody else and say, how much will you pay me to boss me around? And I go down a couple more blocks. Will you pay me more to boss me around? Oh, you might give me a longer vacation to boss me around. And that's what the average person does. And it doesn't matter what balance you strike in a situation like that. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be satisfied. You're going to have this underlying sort of static anxiety to your life. That's where the addictions creep in, because you know something's wrong, but you think it's you. And you don't really want to think it's you. And it's not you. So most people will think it's them. And then they'll start drinking the wine. And they'll be called wine moms. And they'll laugh about it because they forget about their pain on the Friday night. When they come back from that job they don't enjoy, and the only freedoms they're given are in the areas that don't count. And I call that the freedom plan. FREE-DUMB. Freedom. So freedom is a lot different than freedom. And if you don't realize this trap, that it's there, if you don't realize who said it, why they said it, it's going to be hard for you to strike a work-life balance, doing things you love, and being creative. And I do things I love now, but it's not like I get up every day doing pirouettes in the living room. It's still a hard go, but it was always a hard go. It was a hard go when I was a waiter at Eastside Mario's serving pasta. It was a hard go when I worked at Simmons Mattress, putting together the box springs for people's Simmons mattresses. It was hard those days too. So it's that classic phrase, pick your hard. Like, I got a hard day, but it's a lot more satisfying than the old hard days that the freedom society used to give me. So when I go to bed at the end of a hard day, I feel more satisfied, more excited, more alive, more hopeful, more joyful, more happy than I've ever done with anything that the control grid has tried to give me. And the control grid will always have that spinner rack of options. And you'll never see an option on that spinner rack. You know what a spinner rack is? You go into the comic book shop of old, when I was a kid, you could just spin that rack and all the comics would sort of spin around very quickly and pick whatever you want. It's about saving space in a small retail outlet. So nothing the control grid will ever give you as an option will include you doing what you like and then getting off that occupation and doing more things that you love. You're going to have to create that yourself. I can help you do that. I can give you some information that you can, I'll slow drip you for free. Get on my email list, email info@jkristoff.com. This is Jason Kristoff signing off. Thank you for listening.